conferences with the U.S. Basketball Writers Association Player of the Year and the Associated Press Player of the Year. We're going to run these news conferences back to back. We're going to have availability with the presenters of the award for the USBWA. We're also going to have availability with the legend Oscar Robertson. And we'll have the Player of the Year here as well in just a moment. Wanted to run down a couple of items here in the main interview room. Take a moment, please, at this time to silence your cell phone. A reminder that no flash photography is permitted here in the main interview room. Also, please refrain from using any video recording devices during this news conference. That includes handheld cameras, professional news ENG cameras, mini cams, and cell phones. You can't go live in here to any social media platform. You also can't record video and post it later. This room, video recording is prohibited. If you need video, you can plug into the mult boxes in the back of the room and take the video feed from Hammond Communications. If everybody's good with that, we'll have our award winner and our presenters of the U.S. Basketball Writers Association Player of the Year Award make their way into this room and onto the dais in just a moment. Any questions so far? Okay. Thank you. Once again, we're going to go back to back with this awards presentation, and we're going to do a nice, big, generous, healthy question and answer period. We're hoping not to do two of them. So if everybody can make their way into the main interview room at this time, we can get a lot of those questions and answers taken care of. Jesse, this is on the same downlink as all the regular satellite info for the... Right, what I just said made no technical sense, but you guys got the gist of what I'm saying? All right, same satellite information for the entire week. You're not going to do that as a selfie?
Sure.
If you'd like. Whatever you want to do. All right. And Joe. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, we welcome you back to the main interview room here at the Final Four for the U.S. Basketball Writers Association Player of the Year presentation. Joining us here on the dais, David Teal of the Daily Press of Newport News, Virginia. He's the president of the USBWA. The executive director of the USBWA, Joe Mitch, also joins us, as does Naismith National Basketball Hall of Famer and legend, the Big O, Oscar Robertson, is here as well. The trophy is named after him. We're going to let David take it away for the introduction of the dais and for the Player of the Year.
Thank you, Mark. Thanks to everyone for sticking around and joining us early this evening here in Minneapolis. I think it comes as no surprise to any of you that the winner of this season's Oscar Robertson Trophy is Duke freshman Zion Williamson. He becomes the 8th Blue Devil to win this coveted trophy. He is the 3rd freshman, joining Anthony Davis and Kevin Durant. He is also the 1st freshman to win ACC Player of the Year and MVP of the conference tournament. Zion, congratulations.
First, I'd like to thank God, because without him, I wouldn't even be here. And I would also like to thank USBWA for selecting me as the Player of the Year, because there are so many other great players across the country that could have won this award. And I'd like to thank my coaches, teammates, managers, and all the staff at Duke, because, came in every day, ready to work, ready to get better. And this award, I see it as a team award, because without my teammates, I wouldn't be here. And I'd really like to thank my mom, because, she pushed me, after every game, after every practice, she would kind of tell me, what I can get better at, what I can do to be a better player. So I really like to thank my mom for everything, because I know without her, I wouldn't be here. So, I love her, so big thank you to her, and I am very honored that I was selected for this award.
Oscar, the award's named after you. Can you give a couple observations on Zion and the season that he's had as a freshman at Duke?
Well, thank you so much, and thank you for coming out today. As we was talking to Zion and back there, was saying I congratulate him for having such a great year. But I also told him that, your basketball is all out in front of you. I said, you may not believe in that, but you can get a whole lot better. And I think the NBA is fortunate to get a young player like you to go in and along with some other stars and be very productive. And I know that when you first came into the league, I was eager to watch you play, and I just saw the moves you were making. You remind me of another player named Maurice Stokes, who played years ago. But it's just exciting for me to sit beside you. I'm really honored that you're so humble about the award, which is great, and it just means a lot for people to see you play. People here to hear you talk, and then the next thing is you don't know what team you're going to go to in the NBA. But I hope you get with the right team, because you're going to be a tremendous star for the NBA, as I said before, and it's just wonderful to have players like you to enter the NBA, because NBA is a great basketball league, and only for players like you will it go forward. So I'm happy to congratulate you on winning this award. it's different today. When I won this award, the way you were notified is they sent a letter to the athletic director, and he told you that you won the award. So congratulations, and I'm very happy for you and the family as well.
At the conclusion of this presentation, we'll gather Zion and the principals to the center of the stage, certainly the Big O, and we'll do a formal presentation for the cameras, and we'll have our photo up. But right now, let's take some questions. If you have a question for Zion, raise your hand, or Oscar, or anyone up on the dais right now. Let's start out in the front, to the left of the aisle. Myron.
Zion, congratulations on the honor. Obviously, it's a big award, but you're also a huge competitor. What are some of the emotions attached to being here, accepting the award, but not participating in the Final Four?
I am honored that I was selected for this award. I see it as a team award, like I said, because my teammates always pushed me to be here, and so did the coaches. But yeah, I am a competitor. I wish I was here under different circumstances, but I mean, you win some, you lose some, so you just got to move on.
Next question in that same area, Jeff.
Jeff Borzello, ESPN. Zion, you've faced all 4 teams that are in the Final Four. So A, I'm going to ask you who would be your pick to win it all, but also, if not, what's sort of the one big thing that stood out to you about each of the 4 teams?
I'm not going to select any team because obviously I want it to be us. I mean, I wish all those teams the best of luck. You know, they compete hard and somebody's going to come out on top. But what about Virginia was how they could control the pace of the game. I don't think I've ever seen them frustrated. So they control the game very well. Texas Tech, their defense, I mean, they took like 9, 10 charges against us. And, I mean, their defense was probably the best played against. Michigan State, they ran motion offense very, great. When the first option wasn't there, they kept running through their plays, and, I mean, they eventually found open shots. In Auburn's a fast-paced team that can shoot the 3-ball very well, and, I mean, they're very aggressive.
Next question to the right of the aisle.
Oscar, when you came along, you kind of transcended what people had thought a player your size could or should do. Zion, similarly, has kind of changed what we think of a player his size can do. What did you think watching him? Obviously, you guys are different kinds of players, but what did you think watching him and kind of change what we were thinking of players like that?
Well, when I watched Zion, I watched his footwork and his intelligence when he went into the basket because everyone was after him. You know, there was no double team him and triple team him and do all these things to try to keep him from around the basket. He's so gifted. He's just so quick and so high. You know, it's just difficult for any one person to guard him. And as I said before, you know, he's going to get better when he gets it to the next level, which I'm happy about.
In that same area of the room, Adam.
Zion, congratulations on all your success this year. It was a lot of fun covering you. I think we all feel that way. The ESPN did have a report this week that there were certain NBA teams you might not want to play for. Then they said it was kind of an April Fool's joke. Have you thought about what's next for you, and are there any NBA teams you wouldn't want to play for?
Whatever NBA team I land on, that's the team I want to. That's where I want to be. Like, whoever drafts me, that's where I want to be. And what was the other question?
Knicks, or would you have any problem playing for them?
Would I be? Yes, if they draft me, I would love to play for them.
In the back of the room, to the right of the aisle.
Congrats, Zion. So I was wondering, do you have any specific off-season plans?
Just enjoy college with my friends and teammates, and sit down with my family and discuss what our next move will be.
All the way in the back to the center. And reporters, please remember your names and media affiliations before your question.
Zach Griffith, Sports Capital Journalism. Zion, I'm just wondering, how much of an influence has Coach K been on you this year, and what specifically has he done to help you acclimate to the college level?
He's had a big influence on me. Just everything he taught the team, like throughout the season, like how to handle different situations, like how to prepare for different things. And one thing that stood out to me with adjusting to the college game was he told me the game was so simple that it's crazy. So he would like break down film about how simple the game could be. And I mean, you wouldn't see it when you're on the court, but when you're watching on film, like the game is very simple.
All the way up front, all the way to the right, is that Alec?
Alec Kevikingan with Shriners Hospitals for Children. What's up, Zion? Previous winners of this prestigious award include big names like Michael Jordan and Kevin Durant. What does it mean to you to be mentioned in the same category as some of the best players to ever compete in the NBA?
I mean, it's a huge honor to be in a category with those names. Just gotta thank God for that. Like, it's very humbling to be in that category.
Up front in that same area, front row though, Chris from St. Paul.
Yeah, hi, Chris Thomas in St. Paul Pioneer Press, but I'm also helping out the Spartanburg paper. What can you say to the folks back in Spartanburg? I mean, they haven't had a big-time basketball player come out of there. How do you hope to maybe put Spartanburg on the map?
I did go to high school in Spartanburg, but I originally grew up in Florence, South Carolina, so it's kind of hard on which one I'm really putting on the map, I guess. But I wouldn't necessarily say it's just me doing this for Spartanburg, because there's been a lot of great players that come through there. But, I mean, it does mean a lot that I have an impact on Spartanburg.
Up front on the left side.
Jack Hebling from Spotlight Radio Network and Fox 47. Zion, I don't know what the vertical is on that trophy, but it's pretty good. What does it mean to you to win an award like this, named for one of the greatest players in basketball history?
I mean, it means a lot because, like you said, he's one of the greatest to do it, and I have a lot of respect for him. And, I mean, me being selected for this, like, I can't put it into words. Like, the fact that he would take notice of me is crazy to me. So I'm, like, very grateful that they selected me for this.
Continuing with questions for Zion or Oscar or Joe or David, if anyone has any further questions? Any final questions? We'll go back up front to Chris.
Yeah, just to follow up, I know you're disappointed that Duke couldn't be here for the Final Four. As you kind of look back, on the game, why do you think you guys weren't able to take the final step? I mean, was it inexperience? Was it maybe defensive breakdowns, or why do you feel you weren't able to eventually get here?
I mean, they just executed their plays better than us towards the end of the game. Like I said earlier, they were running a motion offense, and when the first shot wasn't there, they didn't get pressed. They remained calm, and eventually they would find a decent shot. And, Winston he kind of controlled the game. Like, he took over at one point, so congrats to Michigan State. Like, I wish them the best of luck.
Thank you, Zion and Oscar and Joe and David. We're going to gather these guys right in the middle of the dais right now for a photo opportunity if you guys want to get your cameras ready and your mobile phones.
Did you cut me off?
No hook for Oscar. No hook for the big one.
No, you said about the game. It was a one-point game. So it could go either way. I thought they played great. I thought Michigan State played great, but it's only 1 point.
Okay, here's the photo opportunity and the formal presentation of the Oscar Robertson Trophy on behalf of the U.S. Basketball Writers Association to the Player of the Year, Zion Williamson, freshman from Duke. You can move the chairs if you want, guys. You get the wheelie chairs in. I think look toward the back center. Everybody good? All right. Thank you very much, Oscar. Thank you, Zion. Thank you, Joe. And thank you, David. Bring the family. Yeah, let's do that. Bring Zion's family up. The stairs are on the outside. Zion's family must be. Following these photos, we'll have the formal presentation of the Associated Press National Player of the Year Award. We'll have a chance to answer some questions if anybody walked in recently, just for a few minutes. No, watch that left shoe. The Big O's got some big feet, even on the trophy. All right, thank you guys. Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, congratulations. Yes, of course. We're not done yet. We got another one.
Yeah.
We got another one next. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Quick change here on the dais, and we'll be right back. Dave wants to offer you a ride. You need a ride anywhere.
There's Dave. It's Dave.
Yeah, Dave's at the bottom there. So. You have to stay. I guess it's all right. Photographers in the back. Is the trophy in the way, or is the trophy placement okay? Okay, great. Joe's going to take it.
I think I'll leave Monday morning.
Barry, where are you from? What city?
Dallas.
Okay. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
It's now my pleasure to introduce Barry Bedlin of the Associated Press, the Dallas Bureau. He's going to present Zion Williamson with the Associated Press National Player of the Year Award. Barry.
I'm the sports products director for the Associated Press, and it's my pleasure to announce this year's winner. I know this is going to be a big surprise, and yet another award for Zion here. We've been giving out the award for 58 years, and past recipients include Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Bill Walton, Shaquille O'Neal, and even eventual Timberwolf Christian Laettner. This year's recipient becomes only the third freshman, the other two being Kevin Durant and Anthony Davis. And he also becomes the seventh Blue Devil to receive this honor more than any other college basketball program. The last Blue Devil to get it was J.J. Redick in 2006. This player's style on the court is unique for his stature. He stands 6'7", yet can handle the ball as well as any guard. He's been described as scrappy, nimble, and explosive. And he can throw down a violent dunk from as far away as the free throw line, appearing to float, even though no one who weighs 285 pounds can float. The videos of his dunks, there are some reportedly from middle school out there. I've let him confirm whether that's true, but the videos of his dunks dating back that far have gone viral and attracted millions of views. And CBS, for the first time this tournament, dedicated a cameraman just on Zion during the games he played in. And also unique is his name. When he was born, his grandmother told his mother to name him something extra special. She did. She named him after Mount Zion in the Bible, which seems fitting considering his intimidating presence on the court, as well as sitting here next to him. It is my pleasure to introduce the AP Men's College Basketball Player of the Year, Zion Williamson. Now, we'll do a photo op here.
Zion, do you want to offer a couple comments?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Once again, I'd like to thank God, because without him, I wouldn't be here. And I'd like to thank the Associated Press for voting me Player of the Year, because, like I said, there are a lot of other players that can be in this position. And I'd like to thank my coaches, teammates, because I think this is a team award for not just myself, but for me and my teammates. So this is a team award, and I thank my family the most, because without my mom, I wouldn't be here. Like, nobody will ever know how much she's done for me and what she's been through just for me to be sitting in this chair right now. So, like, my mom is the biggest inspiration in my life. And I just like to say that I love her. And once again, I'd like to thank Associated Press for nominating me the Player of the Year.
We probably took care of most of the questions during the prior press conference, but if anybody walked in late, any questions for Zion or for Barry? There is one. Might as well take one, right, Zion?
Might as well.
Zion, you could have played anywhere in the country out of high school. You chose Duke. What kind of impact has Coach K not only had on your life, but on your basketball career as well?
The impact he's had on my life is, like, he helped a lot with how to carry myself, like, with the media and being under a microscope all the time, and just the game of basketball. You know, he's taught me so much. In 1 year, I didn't even, you know, I thought I knew a lot about basketball, but I didn't know nothing, because everything he taught me it was something new every day. And I just like to thank Coach K for just even giving me the opportunity to come to Duke, because they already had 3 great players committed there, and they could have stopped there, but he kept recruiting me, and I'm just grateful for that, because I wouldn't have had the year I had if I had went anywhere else.
2 final questions out on the floor, and then we'll wrap this up. Let's start on the right of the aisle, all the way in the back.
Hey, Zion, sorry if you've been asked, but do you have a rooting interest this weekend based on a player you've played against in the past or teams you've played against in the past? Is there a team you're pulling for this weekend?
Nah, I'm not pulling for anybody. I just wish the best of luck to those 4 teams. I want them to go out there and compete, and, I mean, only one team can stand on top.
And the final question back to the room center.
Hi, Zion. Zach Griffith, Sports Capital Journalism. I'm in college as well, so I was just wondering, what's the thing outside of basketball that you're going to miss the most?
Just walking around Duke, like, as a regular student. You know, I just think that's something I'm just never going to forget. Like, walking to class, just walking around the campus, because the college experience is something, like, I never want to miss out on. And I'm glad I came to Duke, because the campus is beautiful. So when I'm walking to class, it's something to take in every day.
And we'll do one final question, only because Zion is super gracious, because he's walking out with 2 of these major awards this evening.
Thanks, Zion. Sam Johnson, Bethel Clarion. You talk about these awards being team awards, not necessarily player awards. Can you talk about the relationship you've had with your teammates this year, maybe specifically your roommate, RJ Barrett?
The bond I have with my teammates have been, you know, incredible. You know, we got here, like, we got in Duke July 1st, you know, went to Canada, and, I mean, the relationships we built weren't just on court. We were always together off the court. And for RJ, he's a brother to me. We relate with so much, We're always together. Like, we always know what the other one's thinking. And, I mean, I think the chemistry was there on and off the court. I mean, I think we had a great season, and looking forward to what we're both going to do in the future.
We want to thank and congratulate Zion Williamson, the Associated Press, and the USBWA National Player of the Year. And thanks to Barry for presenting the award on behalf of the Associated Press. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, we want to thank you for attending all of our events here in the main interview room all day long. We're going to see you tomorrow after the first national semifinal matchup. Good evening.